Season 2 of the ASA Sprint Series kicked off in one of the most unforgiving circuits in motorsport, where every corner mattered and every mistake was punished. I'm in the Mercedes AMG GT3 for this season. It's a car that provides good balance of handling and high performance. Imola delivered exactly what we expected. Close racing, aggressive moves, and a grid that was all in from lap 1. But what really stood out was the standard of driving. This grid was seriously high level, clean, aggressive, and relentlessly consistent from start to finish. This was proper old school racing at its finest, and this one got intense. So from the start, I immediately move up from 4th place into 2nd. I managed to stay in this Mercedes slipstream. Everybody's bunched up through the first couple of corners, so we need to tread lightly and keep our eyes on the mirror. So through corners 5 and 6. This is a full grid today. We've got 3 classes: hypercars, LMP2 and GT3 cars. So it should be a very exciting race and a very busy track. Turn 8 isn't really a turn, it's pretty much a straight line into turn 9. The tyres are still relatively cold here, so we want to take our time. Just make sure we don't lose any time to the car in front, but not give anything away to the car behind. But there's a hypercar on the side of the road there. There's going to be lots and lots of hypercars and LMP2 cars coming through the field, so it's one of those races where you really have to keep your eyes on the mirrors and making sure you're not blocking the path of anyone coming through. We've got a hypercar coming up and trying to go around the outside, but unfortunately doesn't make it stick. And that's the end of the first lap. Managing to keep it nice and clean. The Porsche just closing the gap ever so slightly. He's in my slipstream, so he's got a good run down to turn 3 and 4. Just trying to find as much grip as, and we made a small mistake there, and that's enabled him to come up alongside me. So into turn 7, coming out to the corner here. I give him plenty of room, and there's a bit of contact there. It wasn't evident at this stage of the race that there was any damage, but as the tires are still cold and I'm experiencing a lot of understeer, but as the tyres get into their optimum window, there is a bit of understeer. So the tyres are getting into a better temperature now as we head down to Ravazza, turn 18 and 19. Trying to close the gap on this Porsche. Kicking up some gravel there, coming out of turn 19. And I can see in my mirrors the Lexus is closing in a little bit, so we have lost a little bit of time on that last lap. I missed my apex just a little bit on that corner, and the Lexus of, I believe, Greg Brock is incredibly fast driver. He's closing up in this lap, so he was really attacking those series of corners. And this is one of the corners that I really did struggle on the whole race. And that was turn 9, where you really noticed that little understeer problem. I was having to scrub enough speed off just to make the corner, and that enabled people behind just to close up a little bit. I'm trying to shave enough of that corner off to get the hammer down and understeer it into the gravel there, and that is enabled the car behind just to close up a little bit more as we begin lap 4. Whoa, and a big moment there. Losing a lot of time. So the Lexus is salivating at the prospect of taking this position now. He's closing up, and I understeer again into that corner, enabling him to get through. So lost another place, down to 4th. And we'll try and push and take that back. So at this point in the race, I'm realizing that I might be in a little bit of trouble, as I'm starting to lose a little bit of time lap after lap, but hoping that when everybody's tires are starting to go off, I can make a little bit of time up. So this isn't traditionally a track that I'm very good at, but I have done significant amount of practice to get the most out of the car and the setup. The hypercars produce massive amounts of downforce, especially at high speed, which is why they look glued to the track through fast corners. Now, GT3 cars use traditional combustion engines only. Most hypercars, Toyota, Ferrari, Porsche, run hybrid systems. So that deployment is why they explode out of slow corners. So GT3 cars weigh roughly around 1,300 to 1,350 kilograms. Hypercars are lighter and more tightly regulated for performance balance. So less weight, more aero, ridiculous efficiency. So closing up on the Lexus now into turn 5 and 6. Really putting the pressure on. I've got a hypercar coming up behind me as well, trying desperately to stay out of his way. I take a nice wide turn coming out of turn 7 as he passes me going up the hill. Now, I don't believe Greg has seen him coming up behind us. The hypercar temporarily stuck between us. Trying to keep it nice and steady, and he's away. He's released. So we're able to close up again on the back of the Lexus. Oh, there's a bit of a mistake there as the hypercar goes through the gravel, and Greg Brock also kicks up a little bit of dust there. As we enter into lap 6, I'm closing the gap now, just having a look down the outside. I don't think I can make this stick. There's only one line through this next section of turns. So I tuck in and try and keep it nice and steady, and see if we can get the job done on this corner, which we don't quite have the pace for. I have to back off and live another day. So take a bit of a wider line through turn 7, up the hill, trying to get a good exit so we can have a go up the hill here. But this is a track that's extremely difficult to overtake on, so there's limited spaces for overtaking. Generally, overtaking is done in braking zones, not on corners or people making mistakes like that. So I'm able to just creep up on the outside, but not quite fast enough. And unfortunately, I have to cut the chicane to keep it on the road. A little bit of a knock there from Greg Brock as he underestimated the difference in speed. Don't hold that against him at all. Down into turn 18. Trying to use all the curb that I can to get around there and get on the back of this BMW that was let through. So Greg Brock there peeling off into the pit lane to serve a penalty. As a hypercar goes through, that was Alex Kay, I believe, in the hypercar. And luckily everybody knew the score and was able to get out of his way. So now I've got a McLaren coming, closing the gap behind me. So I'm trying to just keep it nice and clean, holding on to the back of the BMW here and hoping we can get a nice quick run up the hill. And we have a good exit out of that corner, but these cars are so evenly matched that it's difficult to make up any advantage. Especially on such a narrow track, it's really difficult to get any passing done. So we have to be patient and see if we can outbrake this BMW into the bottom of the hill at Rivazza. As another hypercar goes through, lots of traffic now coming through. So desperately trying not to give anything away to the McLaren behind me, but he's closed right up again. He's having a look down the inside and a little bit of understeer through there. At the moment, the car's not handling too badly. It's just the understeer in high-speed corners that I'm struggling a little bit with. And turn 9, as you just come over the crest, the car gets a little bit light here. And the car drifts wide. Good thing at that moment, because the hypercar was coming through extremely quickly. So GT3 cars, obviously they're based on road cars. Think AMG, GT, Ferrari 296 and Porsche 911. Hypercars are purpose-built prototypes, and they're only designed to win endurance races like Le Mans. Hypercars are 10 to 20 seconds faster per lap, depending on the circuit. They accelerate harder, they brake later, and they can carry a lot more corner speed. So fast forwarding onto lap 23, I'm still in 4th place. Smiles has put the hammer down. And mistakes like that don't help my cause at all, as Ben Collins, also in the Lexus, goes through. He was actually tucked up behind me for a couple of laps, so he's breathing sigh of relief as he gets away into some clean air. Almost getting taken out by a hypercar there. We've both got some traffic coming through. Just have to tuck in and be patient for a second. So my brakes are getting a little bit spongy at this point. So I'm having to brake a little bit earlier, turn in a little bit earlier, and there you see Ben Collins is just having a little moment himself, trying to use as much curb as he can to get that car turned in. So I think everybody is struggling a little bit on these tyres at this stage in the race. As we head into lap 24. And this is where I believe I had a bit of a moment and ended up skipping over the gravel into the tyre wall. Fortunately, we do get moving quite quickly. Didn't lose too much time, but it does allow the McLaren to catch up and pass me there. So I have lost another position. And on we go. So fast forwarding on to lap 28 now. The end is in sight of this 35 lap race. So Imola is one of the few major circuits on the calendar that's anti-clockwise. This puts immense strain on the right-hand tyres, especially over long stints. So, as you'd expect, a narrow track with grass and gravel, the small mistakes are punished instantly. You've got very small margin for error. So Imola is deeply tied to motorsport history, including some of its darkest moments, and that legacy is why drivers still treat it with huge respect. It's a track that demands real discipline. So that impact with the tyre wall, I'm not sure if that's evened out my understeer woes, but the left is now matching the right. Oh, lots of understeer there, so I just couldn't get the car slowed down. So losing a little bit of time. We both pitted in on the same lap. As we came out the pits and everybody else got through the pit window, we do lose another position. There's a back marker there, nearly collected me. Wasn't quite sure if he needed to close the door or not, but obviously I'm coming around to lap him. I think he realised and let me through. Here we are on the last lap, in 7th place. So all in all, I was pretty happy with how I drove. Just a few small errors is all it takes, especially around Imola, and you literally start dropping positions. So That understeer problem definitely didn't help my race, but on we go. That's racing. So the car behind is Aston Martin. It didn't look like he was going to catch me, so I was just taking it easy on that last lap to get it over the line. And there we go. 7th place. Fairly happy with that.